right, here we are again, backyard business, we're calling it, and it is backyard, my backyard, and we're talking business and interesting people. We're going to keep bringing people to you from the Lehigh Valley we can learn from. Brittany Keal, I love working with you. I think you're an amazing person. I know people say that stuff, but I really do. I think I've watched you grow, what you do on Business Matters, and your evolution professionally. I guess the question I want to ask you first and foremost, so you went to Parkland. Where'd you go to college?
So I did my undergrad at Kutztown University, and then I did a master's. Interesting, not really planning to get my master's, was kind of told either get your master's or get a real job. So I said, I'll go get my master's. I applied late. I was actually missed the first week of class, but I got my master's at Millersville.
Wow, okay. Wow, you're brilliant. Got a master's degree. Wow. I'm still working on an associate's degree.
That's fine.
Well, actually, I have enough credits. I just never took the test. But anyway.
Next year.
So tell me about, was this your first job, the chamber job?
Yeah, my first real full-time job. I've had several part-time jobs in the past, but yes, this was like my
You're
first.
kind of spoiled, because to tell you the truth, I think that really is true. This chamber universe for your first job, and you learn, I always tell people when they come to the chamber as interns, it's like getting a master's degree, because you meet business leaders, community leaders, political leaders. It's a crazy world.
Yeah, I've learned so much from this job, and I mean, I love being here. That's why I'm still here, because I feel like there's endless opportunities. There's endless opportunities to learn, and I continue to grow each and every day. Yeah,
and you do grow each and every day. How do you like the TV thing? You're really good at it.
I like it.
Are you as chill to do it as you appear?
Yes, I think I've gotten more comfortable with it. I think in the beginning, absolutely terrified and frightened. But I've always learned that you're not growing unless you're uncomfortable and being pushed outside your comfort zone. So very thankful for the opportunity, but I've continued to learn to love it and continue to grow doing it. So yes.
I'll just shift from business a little bit, because I know this. You're a huge Eagles fan, right?
Oh yeah.
Does that mean Phillies too, or just like more of a?
I would say over the top Eagles fan, but 100% a Phillies fan.
When you
so
say
all
over the
Phillies
top, meaning
sport.
what? Like?
I mean, I'm at every tailgate. I try to go as many games as possible. We're watching every single game, no matter what time it is, because I'm an early bird. I like to be in bed by 9 o'clock. But if it's an 8 o'clock game, I'm up watching the game, because I'm hardcore Eagles
So you probably
fan.
hate Monday night games.
I do, yeah.
That's okay. I'm with you. Like
that's my bedtime.
Yeah, I'm thinking, why did they start? Did they move it up to 8 o'clock? It used to be 9 o'clock.
It's 8 o'clock, yeah.
It's at 8 o'clock. That's good. By the way, do you like Ellie and Bailey?
I love them.
I think they're amazing. So that's I'm going to look at that camera. That's who makes us all happen, and they're amazing.
Great
they
producers.
Really are. Yeah. Well, actually, we have a lot of. That's one thing I pride myself in, and that is that at my stage of my career, and at my age, I really like being around young people, and I want to make sure that I'm changing. So, you don't want like some old guy that you're like, that guy doesn't. I'm trying to make sure I involve.
Yeah, and you absolutely are. I think as well as giving opportunities for the younger generation. Sometimes in jobs, people don't always have opportunities that you've given us here, and kind of made this your starting foundation for the young professionals in the Valley.
You're in our diversity, equity, inclusion group with Danielle, who's amazing. Pressure sometimes to, I don't know. Do you feel like you're doing enough for lifting up those communities, and is that pressure sometimes because it's a high bar?
Yes, I definitely think that there's pressure to make sure that we are helping and that we're doing the right thing. I also think it sometimes actually comes easy to the folks that are on our diversity team, just because we all have a true passion for doing that. So it's something that comes from the heart. It's not something that we're necessarily saying you have to do this. So yes, I think there's definitely pressure, and it's something sometimes thinks it's hard, but I also think that when you put passion and love into it, it makes it easier to do as well.
Yeah, when people say, why are we into that? Today it's a funny world. I think that the consciousness of diversity, equity, and inclusion, I want to make you more than just that. I know, because you are much more than just that. And sometimes, do you feel like that sometimes you get tired of being in that tight box?
No, and I think that it gives us avenues to do things outside of the box. So no, I don't. I think that again, we love what we do. So I think that when we're in that lane, that it's not something that we feel like we can't step out. And I think also it's helping us be able to give access to these other businesses that might need to be stepped out of the box a little bit. Yeah.
So back to what I started the question was, sometimes when people, why do we have to have? First of all, why do we have to have diversity groups, and why can't we all just be one chamber? And what I tell people is we are just one chamber, but just like we have people, say geographically, want to hang in Hellertown, and we have people that want to be with other LGBTQ, gay members and
Correct.
and people in the African American community. It's comfortable, and they can lift each other up, and it's really important. And and there's a lot of incredible. That's the biggest thing. There's a lot of incredible leadership within our diversity community in the Lehigh Valley.
Oh yeah, and I think that also having those different groups, in the Lehigh Valley, we're not the most diverse community as some of the other communities. So I also think it really helps those folks who identify in the LGBTQ community, African American, Hispanic, be able to really find their group that can help them flourish in business. Because they of course have their own families, but sometimes it might be different industries, and they might want to really be able to connect with folks that are going to help push them up, and that they can really be like-minded with one another.
Yeah, may have the same challenges.
Absolutely.
So I love to talk to you about this, your two worlds, and that is that here in the Lehigh Valley, your professional life, you live in the Philadelphia area.
Yes.
So you have two different universe here, as you said, not very diverse. So what's it like to make the transfer? Here you probably can go to a restaurant. You may be the only person of color in many cases, I'm sure.
Yes.
Where when you go to Philadelphia, it's more comfortable to be around diversity, right?
Yeah, and you naturally just see more people that look like you there. I definitely think it's more comfortable, and I think that sometimes I definitely code switch, have a different identity a little bit up here, but I love it because, like, for example, if I'm at home, I need to go to the grocery store, I know I probably won't see anyone from work, so I might be there in my pajamas, rather than if I was living here. And then I think also I'm able to, in a way, connect certain things. So for our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Summit that we had this past year, there was a few businesses that came from the Philadelphia area through folks that I've met. So I think it's also bringing the two areas together in a way as well.
Can you tell me a little bit about, or tell us a little bit about your family? Because again, I just think you're such an incredible person. So your parents should be really, really proud. I mean, it almost makes me emotional thinking that. But what did they teach you, or why? Why did you turn out to be who you are?
I think
went to Parkland High School, right?
Yes. Yeah. So absolutely the way that we were raised, they did a lot for my brother, and my brother's 2 years younger and also actually lives in Philadelphia now. But they gave us numerous opportunities through sports, through education, through meeting different communities within like our own connections, as well as having an opportunity to also understand our own culture. So yes, we lived in the Lehigh Valley. We went to Parkland, where it wasn't the most diverse area, but we were also able to go see our family for X amount of weeks in the summertime to make sure that we're still being connected to our culture. So we would spend numerous weeks up in Brooklyn with my grandma on my dad's side, and then we'd also go down to the DC area to spend time with my mom's side of the family. But they definitely instilled in us to understand you have to work for what you want to do. So we went to college. We both of us got our masters. I would say he's doing very well off. My brother, he's an accountant now down in Philadelphia, but understanding taking risks and opportunities, and that there's always a lesson to be learned, is something that we've absolutely learned from our parents growing up. Yeah,
so I don't want to overstate this. So when you're here, say in this community in Parkland, not very diverse, mostly a white community. So when you go visit family, you feel your roots, I guess, to use that broad-based term?
Yeah, it feels like home.
How'd that feel?
It's an amazing feeling. I love spending time with my family. I'm definitely a huge family person, so when we have that opportunity to do that, I love to just disconnect from like my everyday life, my work life, and be with my family. Yeah.
What do you think are you optimistic? Do you think we're getting, would you agree it kind of goes in spurts in terms of the visibility about being inclusive, and then it sort of chills a little bit, it's almost like when that door's open, you gotta rush in while it keeps going, but at different paces.
I definitely think there's still opportunity, of course, for growth, but I think absolutely from when I was in high school to now, we've made tremendous amount of change within the Lehigh Valley. And I think that like the folks that are in school now, I think that they're already having a better understanding, and they're going to already have feel more inclusive now compared to when I was in school. So I think that we're growing, we're getting there. I don't think we'll ever 100% be there, because there's always room for growth, but we're definitely down the right path.
Part of that, I think, is demographics too. They're just more people of color in the community.
Correct.
And more inclusive in business and opportunity, but it's been a long haul. It hasn't been easy.
Yeah, and I think also people of color are seeing that there's there's opportunities here, and having roots here and raising your kids and moving here, that I think more people are coming here, which is naturally helping diversify the area.
Yeah, and again, I get to the different councils that you have, and I cannot believe the amount of amazing leadership that is all in these diverse communities.
Absolutely. I've met so many people with working with this job that are people that also look like me and that are minorities and people of color, that we're able to work with and have great ideas come
So
from.
tell me, so we've had a deep discussion, if you will, but tell me about you. Like who are you?
I love to travel. That's one thing. I think that, so growing up, we didn't travel much.
Yeah.
We went a lot of places driving distance.
Yeah, me too.
I went to Florida often, but really only because of cheerleading, but we've never went.
Were you a cheerleader at
Yes.
Parkland? Oh.
No, so not at Parkland.
Oh.
So I've cheered my whole life, but I was cheering on an all-star team.
Oh.
So at the time, we weren't able to cheer on our high school. We weren't able to do both.
Okay.
They kind of told us you can pick one or the other.
I got
so.
that. Well, I remember that my daughter had the same. It was either dance or cheering.
So naturally, I picked the one where we could travel and go to
yeah.
different things, because that's what I
And
like
that's
to do.
competitive, right?
Oh yes.
Is that as good? Is that a crazy question? But is that as good as the high school team, or even more?
I might be biased, but I would say that it's more competitive than the high school. Only because the high school teams typically don't have as many competitions, where our only goal is to have competitions. We're not necessarily training or practicing for games.
All right, so you're going around the country. Oh, not well, partially driving, but country, cheering, and so you're into that, huh?
Yeah, and then since then, I've been able to travel to numerous places because I want to experience different cultures as well, not just my own or what is in the Lehigh Valley. So having the opportunity to go to different countries is something that I've had a passion for. I've been trying to go somewhere new per se, at least every year, every other year, just to get some more exposure.
Yeah, your husband's a really good guy too. So you've been married how long?
What's that? He's not too bad.
Yeah.
3 years, actually, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you definitely share the Eagles. That's definitely something.
Oh yeah, he actually got me into the Eagles because he is born and raised from Philadelphia. Will never leave the city unless it's like maybe 30 minutes driving. But he's a diehard Eagles fan. Was absolutely at the parade when the last time they won the Super Bowl.
How did you meet?
Yeah. So college. So we both went to Kutztown. He was actually my tutor for math. I wouldn't say the best tutor because I did not major in. It was an accounting class.
So he was a good tutor?
No.
Oh, not a good. Okay.
I dropped the class.
But when did you decide I kind of like this guy?
Like 5 years later.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So,
so we reconnected with a mutual friend.
You just thought I was a bad tutor initially.
Yes. And then here it is, my husband.
Oh, wow! You reconnected after that.
Yeah.
You hear that so many times. So you've had a good life. It's so far so good. It's going well professionally. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, we love you. You're here for 100 years if you want to.
Forever.
Be. I know everyone's saying. What your thoughts? Like, what are you thinking? Parting thoughts, I guess we use the term.
You know, I'm excited. I'm just excited really to see the Lehigh Valley flourish. The Lehigh Valley, although it's not my home now, it's always will be part of my home. It's where I was born and raised. It's where my family decided to, to put their roots and raise us. So I'm excited to see how the Lehigh Valley is growing, like 10 years from now, because I've seen it now. I'm 30 for the 30 years, but it just seems like it's growing and growing and growing. There's new developments. It's diversifying. So excited about.
I got to ask this before I lose you though, because I know you've been part of Business Matters. You have a favorite guest or favorite show? I mean, you've been around it for a while. It's an interesting mix of characters, and it's a fun thing to do.
I don't know if I would say I have a favorite, but I like the ones when there's a little bit of a back and forth, where it's a little bit more of an exciting show. I've always loved the ones where we've done it like at different locations, like when we did the one at Air Products. Like those ones are always fun and definitely have a good drive as well for it.
Well, Brittany, thank you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for everything you do.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for signing in. Contract to work at the Chamber for the next 100 years. We appreciate that. And anyway, backyard business, Brittany Keal, an amazing woman. Ellie and Bailey are here with me. They're amazing. So hope you enjoy it and share it with friends.
Yeah.